This is my Chunkman account. With a mere chunk in his possession and a dream in his heart, he began his quest to conquer the vast expanse of old-school RuneScape's landmass. He started his journey from humble beginnings in Lumbridge, but with an arsenal of custom tasks, he has faced and overcome countless challenges. His journey has taken him through the trials of total level grinding, epic quests, mysterious clues, and perilous encounters with fearsome bosses, all in order to unlock new chunks of land. Now halfway through the journey, the road ahead may be paved with even greater challenges, but with each obstacle overcome, he moves closer to his goal. So welcome to the second half of Chunkman DDK. Last episode we unlocked 3 chunks by completing our 100th quest, the Children of the Sun. We killed our first God Wars dungeon boss, being Commander Zeliana, and lastly we reached 25 hard caskets opened. Our map expanded with 3 pretty good chunks, being the Southern Relica chunk with the house portal, the God Wars dungeon entrance, and the Backstorian Falls chunk. We could do a lot with our last 2 chunks we have unlocked, like go kill some more bosses in the God Wars dungeon, try to maybe get some combat tasks, or maybe the mini quests to get to next, or do the quest for waterfall quest and then see whatever pops up after we do that quest, because it's a prerequisite for a lot of other quests that we might be able to do now. But as Curious has just dropped, I really want to go and have a swing at it. The 1kc will definitely be a task we will be able to complete, but then I'm actually wondering if we are going to go to like the 100kc task, or maybe in one fell swoop we can go to the 250kc, depending on how fun I find this boss. One of the reasons I want to do this is pretty much because this boss is great to get some combat XP, and before we go back to the God Wars dungeon to do like Grardor in a melee setup, I'd like to get some of our attack and maybe our defense levels up, so we have a better time over there as well. So that's going to be the plan. I'll update you guys as soon as something interesting happens over here. But I imagine we will only get some milestones in kill count, get some spines, and that's pretty much it, because this boss doesn't really drop anything that useful. And that's already first kill. Pretty easy, just like I imagined this was going to be. I'm not gonna roll the new chunk and complete the task. I'll just see how many kills I get here and then complete everything at the same time and roll our new chunks all at the same time with one big chunk opening. Hey, that's the spine already. We're only at like 10kc, but the spine means that we can make a better weapon to use here. So let me just do that. I don't know if we have a rune mace in our bank, but otherwise we'll just have to buy one. Didn't have one in the bank, so we will have to buy one here in the Champions Guild. And now is this just using it on each other at the anvil? Okay. Alright, let's try that again. One spine on one mace, or do we use it on a hammer, of course? Ah, there we go. One bone mace, and we actually got 300 experience for that as well. That's pretty nice. But anyway, this will be better DPS than our whip actually. I'm also going to change gear to proselyte, so we just need some prayer potions. We don't seem to need much food there if we pray correctly. We just get a little chip damage, so yeah. 10kc, we got the weapon, and I think with the other spines I'm just going to trade them in for experience. I don't think it will be beneficial to make the other 2 weapons. We're pretty much 99 ranged anyway, and like magic, I don't think we'll train magic that way. But yeah, 40 more kc until we get our next chunk. but I'll probably just pause every time if we get a spine as well. But for now, this KC is going pretty quickly, so I'm actually considering just going to 250 KC in one fell swoop. And there we go. That's kill number 50 of Scurious for a shark. Pretty nice. So the 50 KC completed another task for another chunk. I'm definitely going to go for 100 KC. And for the loot, we currently have 470k loot, which is quite alright actually for a mid-level boss. And if we look to our XP we have 150k XP gained in attack, and we need about 130 more to get a level. So if we go to 100 KC and complete that task for another chunk, we'll definitely get the level, which is pretty much what we're after. But otherwise, these kills are quite uneventful. We're just getting some supplies, some alcohols, and that's pretty much it. No new Scurious spine just yet, but that will definitely come. Hey, there's finally the second spine at kill count 77. So if we use this spine on the Historian here, we want a combat lamp, and I'm going to put this lamp into prayer because the other things are quite easy to train, but prayer is just such a difficult skill to train. So 3500 prayer experience added. Okay, that's immediately another one. We're like a couple of kills later. Let's trade it in again. Another 3.5k experience in prayer. I don't think we're going to get a level, but all the experience we gain is pretty much good experience. And there we had the level, didn't pop up because we are fighting. And we are currently at 93 Scurious kill count, so pretty much just before we got to the 100 kill count mark, we got a level. And that's kill number 100. So that's the third chunk we have unlocked by killing Scurious. And I'm just going to keep going as this boss is just so much fun. So we're just going to go to 250 kill count and then complete the 4 tasks of Scurious and then immediately roll 4 new chunks. Hey, that's another spine. On kill number 134, that's another 3500 XP in prayer. Huh, there's already a new one. That's like only a couple kills later. 139. Another 3.5k prayer experience. And there's another one. That's 5 kills ago. Don't mind if I take another 3.5k prayer experience. What the hell is this? That's another spine. Like 4 kills later now. Well, there goes another 3.5k experience, I guess. Hey, that's another spine. Now there was a little bit time between all of the spines, 164 now, still under the drop rate I'd say, as it is 1 in 33 to get one. But yeah, another 3.5k prayer experience. It's an amazing day to log into the game today. The combat achievements for the DT2 bosses have been released, but more importantly, and something I didn't expect that was going to happen, the Scurious combat achievements have been added as well. So we are currently 76 combat tasks completed. We need 80 for another task. And if we just click this, we should have a couple completed. 2 tasks completed, so that already brings us up to 78. And then if we have a look at Scurious, we are 2 out of 5, so we'll definitely be able to get another task completed through the combat achievements. And what do we still need? Finish off Scurious with a Ratbane weapon in a private instance, which is just going to be our bone mace we were using anyway. A perfect kill and the 6 giant rats in 3 seconds, which is pretty much also the bone mace. Seems pretty easy, and that's going to be unlock another chunk for us. Well, there's the kill Scurious with a Ratbane weapon. Now let's see if we can get the other one as well. Within 3 seconds. Yeah, that should be it. Or not? Oh, there we go. Efficient pest control. I also tried the perfect one, but Scurious actually dragged us into a falling brick, which was quite annoying. But shouldn't take that many kills to do a perfect, so probably next kill. Hopefully next kill, we'll see. And that should be it. Yes, there we go. All combat achievements completed for Scurious. And that also brings us up to 81 combat tasks completed. So that's another task completed. Let's just get the last 41 kills over and done with, and then we can finish all of our tasks and get all of those juicy chunks that we are going to get because of this boss. Hey, there's another spine. Another 3.5k experience at KC 226. And another. That's like a couple of kills later. Okay. Another 3.5k experience. We're almost halfway to level, even just by doing this boss here. Pretty good. And there's the expected attack level, level 89. And we even get a combat level as well, 113 now. We're also at 241 Scurious kills, so we pretty much made the level just before we got to the 250 KC milestone. And there we go. That's the last Scurious down. 250 of them killed. I must say this was a quite enjoyable grind, just because the kills are so quick. Like, we got to the 250 in a couple of days time. So really not that hard in comparison to what we used to have to do to get some chunks. We also got 2 attack levels and like half a prayer level just from this. And then loot wise, we killed 250 of course. We got 2.45 million gold in drops, mostly the rune items of course. And we got 1 medium clue scroll because yeah, the clue scrolls were only added with the update with the combat achievements. So I've actually done this and we have 1 casket waiting in the bank for our next 25 medium clue task. For the rest, there's not really much to say. We got some money, we got a lot of XP, and we got 5 tasks done. 4 kill count tasks and 1 combat achievement task. So all there is to do now is to complete them on our spreadsheet and then see which are going to be the new chunks. Alright, let's first of all do the combat achievement task. Our 16th out of 97. That 97 will change because of all the tasks that were added for the DT2 bosses and Scurious. So if we complete 80 combat tasks completed, we will see the number change to 16 out of 105. And that brings us up to 308 chunks. And then all of the boss KC. Scurious 1 KC for our 43rd boss that we have killed. Scurious 50 KC also completed. Our 44th boss task completed. Scurious 100 KC also completed. Up to 45 boss tasks completed. And then the last one, Scurious 250 KC completed. Up to 46 boss tasks completed and 312 total landmass chunks unlocked. That felt good. 5 task completions so fast after one another. I like this update. And then on to the chunk picking. The last chunk we unlocked was the Bactorian Falls, and everything around it was already unlocked or unlockable, and the Gold Trucks chunk here would actually be a very good one as well to unlock. You can actually see that there's like 3 chunks here that are on the same line of chunks, and they are all actually pretty good ones. This one for the diary and the quest, this one for all of the quests in here, and this one also for a couple of quests. But we have 5 chunks we can pick, so at least one should be good, right? Let's see for the first one. Let's pick a chunk. Oh, that's actually pretty good. This part of the troll country we will need to get to Trollwise Mountain, and Trollwise Mountain is needed for one of the troll quests. It opens up a little bit of the space to go up, and it also gives us the option to unlock a pretty good chunk with the Keldergrim entrance, which we would be able to get to as this is a fairy ring. It doesn't unlock anything at the moment, but it does give us a couple of interesting options. Solid first chunk. Let's see what's chunk number 2. Let's pick a chunk. That's the smoke dungeon with a fairy ring. The smoke dungeon is important because we need it to unlock a music track. It is also home to a boss, but we don't have the Slayer level yet. And actually, after we do the waterfall quest, this was one of the quests we needed to do before we could do the Path of Glufry. And for the Path of Glufry, we actually need only these 2 chunks. Pretty decent chunk unlock as well. Let's see for chunk number 3 then. Let's pick a chunk. Ah, there we go. Another part of the Daemon's Crater. 5 out of 9 now unlocked. That's a dud pretty much, as we will never use this. But landmass is landmass. So that's 2 decent, 1 quite useless. Let's see for chunk number 4. Pick a chunk. Okay. We're starting with the more useless chunks now. A very small piece of sand. But okay. Almost the entire desert continent now unlocked. Just 3 more to go. And we still have 1 chunk unlock left. Let's see, will we get another decent or good chunk, or will we get another bad one or useless one? Let's see. Let's pick a chunk. Oh, wow. We actually get the next chunk to get up to the Trollwise Mountain. So 1 more and we can do that quest. So I'd say we got pretty lucky. 3 decent chunks and 2 useless chunks. It doesn't really unlock anything at the moment, but we still have a lot of things we can do, so I don't actually mind all of the unlocks. It's some solid progress on our map, and that's pretty much all we're here for. We got a nice amount of chunks, but they aren't useful for us at this time. So I'm just going to continue with what we were able to do before we got to Scurious, and that's the waterfall quest. To start the waterfall quest, we of course need to unlock the starting point, and that's a chunk we unlocked just before Scurious, so let's just unlock it over here as well. And then let's go to the start of the quest. After talking to Elmira, she seems to have a problem, and the problem is her son. Her son thinks there is treasure in the river over here, but he cannot swim. So she just wants to make sure that her son is all right, and we can use this raft over here to get downstream. So let's board the log raft. But that didn't go all that well, as we crashed just a little bit further on. But we do see Hudon. Hudon here really thinks there is treasure down here, so there must be something here that piqued his interest. So let us get a look as well, as treasure does seem enticing. To get a little bit further on, we will use this rope on this rock so we don't go down the waterfall. And then we can see just at the waterfall there is an entrance over here. So let's use the rope on the dead tree here to lower us down to this platform. Well, trying to open the door did not work. Gerald saw us falling down from the waterfall, and apparently he has seen quite a bit of people that tried to get into that door. He said it's something to do with an ancient elven king that put some treasure there, but he didn't know much more. We should ask Hadley, the tourist guide here. The waterfall seems to be named Baxtorian Falls, named after the elven king who was buried beneath them, so it seems like there's a burial chamber for Baxtorian. Baxtorian, the elven king, tried to stop the invading forces, and while he was dealing with that, his wife Glariel was taken captive. And then Baxtorian tried for years to find his wife, but did not find her. So he went back into that lair that he made for her. And since then, nobody has seen him. Hadley, though, said there was a book about Baxtorian and all of the lore behind it just upstairs of here. So let's just raid his bookcase. Reading through the book, the most important one here that we did not know yet is that there is a Glariel's pebble, a key which allowed her family to visit her tomb, and the pebble was taken by a gnome family in the Tree Gnome village. So if we want to get into the tomb, we need that pebble, otherwise we will always just get flooded out. The book says the pebble might still be hidden in their cave underneath the Tree Gnome village, and the only way I see that we can go down is via this ladder here. This looks like a storeroom of some sort. Let's search all of the crates over here. There's a key. There wasn't really anything of use in the other room, and Gory here apparently seems to have locked himself in and couldn't find the key to this door here, but there are crates here, so we would like to get in, and this is the key to open the door, which is perfect. Gory is in here because the hobgoblins here are trying to get into this room to steal all their belongings, and he's been here for quite a while. He mentions like a century, and we looked around and found the Glariel's pebble on the ground. Let's see if we can get in with this pebble. No, not just yet. If we ask Hadley for what's around this place, what's interesting here, he just casually mentions that to the northeast on a hill there's a monument for the Elven Queen Glariel, where Baxtorian was looking for. So doesn't seem all that far away, but I think this pebble is then to get into her tomb over there and not in the one that Baxtorian built for her. There's the monument, and if we read the message here, we can only get in if we have peaceful intent. So I guess we cannot have anything with us, otherwise that would be non-peaceful, I guess. So let's just drop everything over here, and let's use the pebble on her tombstone so we can get in. On one end we can find a chest with Glariel's amulet. On the other end we find her tomb, and we find her ashes. And I guess with the Glariel's amulet we will now be able to get into the Baxtorian Falls. Now that we have the amulet, let's wear it, as that seems to be the logical course of action, so we are protected from whatever magic that protects this door. And there we go. We are inside the Baxtorian Falls. In some of the crates we find a key. The middle room just seems to be filled with fire giants. The other side, the eastern side, has another door And I guess that key will be useful there. Yeah, there we go. Onto another door. And we can find a statue of Boxtorian and a statue of Clariol, together with what seems to be a cup floating in the sky. These 4 pillars here, if you examine them, the pillar has a rune-shaped dent in it, and the book mentions that Baxtorian had perfected rune lore and he could control water, earth and air. So let's try to use all of those runes on the pillars. Yeah, that seems to be working. Let's do that for all the pillars. And that's the last one. Let's now give the Amulet of Glariol back to her statue over here. That seems to have done something. And then we have a chalice. And then let's return Glariol to her rightful place next to Baxtorian. So let's put the urn into the chalice here. And by doing that, we can get the treasure inside of it. And that's the end of the quest. We get 1 quest point, 13,750 strength and attack experience, 2 diamonds, 2 gold bars and 40 mithril seeds. We don't know what has happened to Baxtorian yet, or whatever the story was here, but we got some treasure, we got a quest done, and another quest done means that we can go back to our spreadsheet, complete it over there, and then of course pick another chunk. Before we actually complete this quest, there was a new quest released into the game, and that is the Defender of Varrock. So I have added it just over here. And then also they added a new mini quest that is now also added over here, the Barbarian Training. So if we go back to the dashboard, if we complete the waterfall quest, complete it over here, we will now be 101 quests out of 170, 10 mini quests out of 19, and 313 landmass chunks out of 548. And then back to our map. The last chunk or chunks we unlocked 5, but the most important one I think is this one over here, so we can get closer to the Path of Glovery quests. And then the other side over here with Trollwise Mountain or the Ice Path. Those two seem like the best shot at something good. But for the rest, let's just see what we are going to get. Let's pick a chunk. Oh. Okay. I thought this was a full water chunk, but apparently it's just a minor piece of land. Landmass is landmass, so we will have to be happy that we unlocked this tiny little part here. That's going to be it for today. A massive 6 chunks unlocked, all because of Scurious. I'm really happy they released the boss so we could benefit so greatly from it. Our map has nicely expanded as well, and we have more options than ever before to roll good chunks. But that's going to be for the next episode, so have a great day and see you all in the next episode.